Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about journaling and how if you're not careful, it can actually have some negative effects on your life and your lifestyle. Now, if you've done any type of research on journaling, whether it be watch other videos or even read articles, you may have noticed that journaling is often attached to heavier topics. Topics like depression, anxiety, self discovery, self improvement, things like that. These are heavier topics, and if you build a journaling practice to only incorporate those types of thoughts or that type of writing, it can actually have a negative effect on how you feel, and it could possibly make a situation worse. So if you're constantly thinking and associating journaling with these type of topics, it can actually start to spiral into certain writing habits, and those are the writing habits I'm going to be talking about today. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is complaining. I have personally fallen into this category to where looking back through a lot of my old journals, it was just a lot of complaining, a lot of talking about what was wrong with my life, a lot of talking about things I was very dissatisfied with, and just an overall negative vibe and feel. Now, don't get me wrong, it's okay to vent in your journal. It's okay to talk about things that maybe you want to change or things that are not going as well. But when you build a habit to always incorporate negativity into your journal, then journaling really doesn't become something that enriches your life. It just becomes a tool that you use to complain about your life. Instead of complaining or always downing yourself in your journal, you can actually use the opportunity to try to find solutions. So if there's something that you're constantly writing about and something you feel bad about in your life, or maybe it's something you want to change, instead of using your journal as a tool to complain and to draw out the long process of whatever it is you may be going through or even want to change, use it as a tool to help find a solution. This is a more productive way of journaling. Instead of just being negative, find something positive to use your writing for. Okay, so the next thing is overthinking. And I have too fallen into the overthinking category when it comes to my journaling. And a lot of times, overthinking is associated with not wanting to make a decision or even being afraid to make a decision. So instead of using your journal as a tool to overthink, use it as a tool to help justify your decision. So if you know you have something that's heavily on your mind and maybe you need to make a decision, write out the impact that decision is going to have on your life. Write about why you want to make that decision or that choice, instead of just writing about the actual topic or writing about what you think. Write about the impact. And this is a more productive way to journal. So hopefully that actually will settle or help settle a decision you may have to make. More so, even, we find ourselves in situations that we don't want to let go. We just harvest old feelings. Maybe someone wronged you and you just use your journal as a way to overthink the whole situation and you're not letting it go. These are all ways that we use our journal to kind of self-sabotage. So if you find yourself not letting something go, if you find yourself overthinking in your own personal life and then go into your journal and even overthinking there, is really a habit that you really need to cut out, because it doesn't do you any good. It doesn't help bring you joy. It doesn't enrich in your life, and it's really not productive. So a better way would be to write about why you feel a certain way. Just take a day, and if it's something you can't let go, write about how it made you feel. Write about why you can't let it go, and let it go. And I know it sounds a lot easier said than done, but using your journal to harvest bad old feelings is just not good. It's not productive, and it's not going to help you build a very meaningful journaling practice. Okay, so lastly is using journaling as a transaction. And I say that because, like I said before, a lot of times journaling is associated with things like self-improvement, personal development, a way to help with anxiety, depression, and all of these things. And journaling can totally help with those things. But if you build a practice specifically for that reason, it's not going to be something sustainable and long term, because now you're looking at journaling as something that's going to give you something. You're getting something out of it. And if you want to build a long-term meaningful practice, then you're going to have to journal for the simple idea of you enjoy enjoying doing it. Don't always think of journaling as something that's going to give you something in return or getting something out of it. Sit down, write, and journal because you sincerely enjoy it. Now, there's nothing wrong with looking at journaling as a transaction, as, like I said, it really can help with depression, anxiety, and a whole lot of other things. But if you're someone who wants to journal and you want to have a journaling practice, you cannot build that solely off of believing it to be a transaction. It really needs to be built off of enjoyment. So, question of the day: do you journal? And do you think you're guilty of one of the three things on this list, or maybe you're guilty of all of them? Because I know I am personally guilty of all of them. I have been journaling for a very long time, and I'm definitely guilty of all three of the things on this list, which is actually how I comprised the list. It's from my own personal mistakes. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.